Ellen DeGenerate. How do we feel about her?
She's been around too long. She's been at the party too long. I mean, listen, I've said a lot of things about Ellen. I've called her murderous, said she was in the CIA. Bygones. Water
under the bridge, right, Ellen?
Water under the bridge, right? I said she tortures her interns and she should be in jail. Water under the bridge. I'm not holding these grudges. Maybe she is. Yeah. But I'll tell you this. She's a legend. She's a legend. But
right.
You know what I mean? So is Bin Laden. Legends, but Bin Laden, they took him out. She's been around for too long. If Bin Laden was still around, we'd be like, enough, Osama. But that's my point.
Do we need to run a SEAL Team 6 on Ellen?
SEAL Team 6 has to go in and take her out because she'll never relinquish power.
Right,
She'll
that's
never relinquish control unless SEAL Team 6 sends in a mission to get her.
She is holding tighter than Saddam Hussein did. We're going to find her in a ditch.
She's so much tighter than Saddam. Fallon, guys, I love you. Go, just step back a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to find everything you did, every blackface, everything. You've been famous for too long. Just recede and produce a movie or two. Like, you guys are creative. You're all fucking great. They're all incredibly talented people. But, dude, at a certain point, it's just enough already. We get it.
Now, are you afraid maybe that you're going to be losing your opportunity to appear on Ellen, suggesting that SEAL Team 6 should assassinate
I got to
her?
be honest with you. I do believe that the door might be closed about me appearing now, but she doesn't have a lot of comedians on. She has these massive celebrities on. Because I think comedians would notice, like, hey, what's going on in the back?
Right.
So they might point that out. Where celebrity,
hey, Ellen,
I do like sloths.
Yeah. Ellen, I noticed one of your producers fingering somebody backstage when I was coming out here.
Right. Ellen, why is one of your interns strung up like Christ?
Right.
To make a point. Right. I don't think I'll be on that.
Yeah, comedians are a little too open.
A little too open.
Well, she's good for apology tours if you ever get in trouble.
Yeah,
right.
She's good for that, man. And she broke a lot of barriers for gay people. I appreciate that.
That's
right.
True. She did definitely do that.
She's huge as a fucking figure.
Yeah.
In that world of people living honest lives in mainstream American society. That's huge. And I would always credit her for that.
Yeah.
But someone can do that and also have a lot of other things going on. You know what I mean?
I think you make a really good point how she holds on to power.
It's too much, too long.
Is Jerry Springer still on TV? Because I know now, his security guard has taken the reins. Like he had
Steve Wilkos, right?
He has a fucking show. It's just bizarre to me. I found that out recently.
Springer's off. I think that you got what is it, to die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. I think that's kind of what you're seeing with a lot of people. Like if Oprah was still on TV every day, people would be like, enough.
Right.
I think you get a certain amount of time. And this is the hardest thing. This is the thing about LA. There's very few people aging gracefully here. There's very few people aging with dignity. It's hard to do because everybody wants to be the thing forever.
Right.
Everybody wants to hold on to the thing forever because it becomes their life force.
That's very true.
And I watch people, and I watch when it starts to slip away. They ramp it up, and they just want it. They double down, and they dig in even harder. And it's tough, I think, right now. Because things are changing and moving so quickly and so rapidly. I think a lot of people just get caught up in this idea of I'm gonna be around forever. I don't think that's the climate right now. I don't think the climate right now is to be.
I don't think the world's gonna be around much longer.
In the zeitgeist forever is is tough.
Okay. What about Bill Gates?
Gates is an interesting guy, right? So Gates and me and Rogan kind of we argued about this a little bit because I'm not saying Bill Gates created AIDS. I'm not one of these Looney Tunes. Here's what I'm saying about Bill Gates.
Outlandish.
Bill Gates is a billionaire. Great. Good for him. Brilliant guy, whatever. But he has a huge impact on American or potentially a massive impact on society, American society. By the way, so does Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
So do all of these people, right? These are Batman villain billionaire types. And I don't mean that they're all evil. I mean that they have this massive war chest of money to spend. The Kochs, all of these guys, right? Soros, Sheldon Adelson. I mean, just go through the list of people. I would just be a little more comfortable with a little scrutiny so that we don't start I don't think we should live in a society where one person, however progressive or however informed they may be, although this is a tech guy who's really interested himself in public health, which is fine. But that is also, people are in their own heads going, why is a guy whose primary expertise, technology, very certain and sure about the course we need to take in terms of vaccinations and health? And there's probably good reasons for that. I don't think him and his wife are monsters. I don't know him and his wife. I don't know what him and his wife believe. I'm deeply uncomfortable with people that are trying to remake or reimagine society and are truly resistant to any type of criticism. I think if you throw yourself in the ring, you throw your hat in the ring, you should accept good faith criticism of your ideas and what you're trying to do. And I don't know that he's that person. And I don't know that there's been enough discussion about things he wants to do or things that he thinks is appropriate. I mean, famously, I talked about it on my show. He wanted to shoot like a missile of dust into the atmosphere to help climate change. And a bunch of scientists were like, that's a really bad idea.
Missile of
and
dust.
they didn't do it. But here's the thing. How many people in history have had the resources to even have that thought?
No, it's crazy because, you know,
That's
he's
crazy.
not a body of government. There's not checks and balances on Bill Gates. He's so rich. He has the
Yeah.
resources of a small country without any oversight. The fact, you're right, that he can just shoot a missile of dust and
Or
just be
even
like,
have
let's
that
see.
thought. And I
Yeah.
think Bezos, the same
Bezos
thing.
has so much
Yeah.
money. He doesn't know what to fucking do with it. He's just shooting shit into space because he's got nothing else to spend money.
Right. So I just think that we should just, I'm not, you know, all
Is
this
that
conspiracy.
un-American though? To be like, Bezos, let's take a look. Let's see what you're doing with all that
I
cash.
don't think it's un-American to do that. I think
it's important to remember that if someone is good at one thing, it doesn't mean they're going to be good at everything. And the problem is, I think another problem is that how many people around these billionaires can really criticize them? Like, do they even have anyone in their life that criticizes them?
Nah.
They're a billionaire. Like,
Maybe, but also we as Americans have this tendency to fetishize people that are that successful as like almost like demigods and feel like they're infallible because they're so successful. And you're like, Bill Gates is going to shoot a missile of dust into space. Cool. He must have checked that out, and that seems like.
I mean, listen, maybe I don't know what the COVID vaccine is going to look like. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm not any of that. I just know that I'm not excited to get the first round of COVID vaccines. I don't know anyone who is. I don't know anyone who's excited to show up at a Walgreens and just get a needle put in them for the first round. Like, I think that there's people that are going to want to say, I want to take my chance with this. I don't want to synthetically inject something unless it's very safe.
I think we're down to take whatever.
If it goes through all the proper channels,
right?
You know, and the fucking whatever FTC.
FDA, probably Food and Drug, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
One of those Fs, one of those cocksuckers. Anyway, once they approve it, I'll take that shit right in my neck.
I agree. If it's approved, I agree with you 110%. I just don't
But
want,
if Trump's like, hey, the vaccines are here on November 2nd, isn't that great?
He's not great.
Yeah.
You can't win at the voting place.
I'd be like that. Oh, yeah, free vaccine with every vote for Trump.
I don't think I've ever gotten a flu booster. I've never gotten the flu. I don't know. I
gotta tell you, I did when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you should take it when you're pregnant.
Right.
And I didn't get sick, and I was like,
no, the flu shot is great.
I think the shot actually worked.
The thing is, it's not 100%
it's
effective because
I've never gotten like the boosters on. I don't go in every year for it.
Yeah, you need it every year. But mostly you only need it if you're like
that's a lot of work,
or if you're old or some shit.
I have AIDS and I'm old, but you
should get it then.
I've tried.